Are you sick and tired of gambling your hard-earned money on Madden and 2K packs? Well, look no further than my sponsor, MMOEXP, for the cheapest and the most reliable Madden coins and 2K MT on the market. A link for their website will be right at the top of the description. And do not forget to use code FERDY for 5% off. In today's video, we are going to be ranking all of the top tier receivers currently in Madden 22 and putting them all on a tier list. So here is the updated wide receiver tier list. We have some old names on here. We have some new names on here. Some old names still at S tier. Cooper Kupp, Chase Claypool, Colin Johnson. Some new names. We got Chris Godwin. Robert Woods is on here. We got Joey Galloway, Marquise Hollywood Brown, Amari Cooper. We got Patrick Peterson, Wes Welker, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith. And by the way, that is the 97 updated team captain, Lance Allworth, down there at C tier. Who else is a new name? I guess Emmanuel Sanders, Hunter Renfro's down there. But one thing I do want to say about the wide receiver tier list that is unlike the rest of the tier list that I make on the channel, I really do believe that you could use any of these receivers on today's tier list on a 25 theme team, and they're really good. We're at that point of the year where there's so much variety. So a guy like Hunter Renfro, yeah, on a 25 Raiders team, he's a really good option. I usually, when I make these tier lists, I do, not consider them on a theme team. So kind of keep that in mind when you're watching this video, but I really do believe that all of the players on here can be used on a 25 theme team. I really think so. Like, Amon-Ra St. Brown, a monster on a 25 Lions team, 6 foot. Odell Beckham, the same thing on a Browns, Rams, or Giants team. The card's a monster. So, yeah, that is the wide receiver tier list. Let's get into some of the new names, getting started with the brand new Ultimate Legend, Billy Johnson. Okay, so here is Billy Johnson. The card is going for about 240K right now after the eggs have opened and ULs are kind of down right now in price. But honestly, for 240, to play like the slot and being a route runner archetype, Billy Johnson really isn't that bad of an option. The card does have some holes. I mean, his stats are amazing. 98 speed, 92 jumping, decent acceleration. I was kind of hoping the acceleration was going to match the speed, but good route runner. Is the route runner archetype, so gonna get some pretty good abilities like deep out and route tech. But the problem with Billy is just the fact that he's 5'9". If this card was 6'1", he would probably be up there with Cooper Kupp and Davante Adams. That's how good this card's stats are. But the fact that he's 5'9" and how smaller receivers play on next gen, I think, I can't put Billy in S tier. I really can't, even though this card, like I said, has amazing stats. So we're going to throw our man Billy Johnson up here at mid to low A tier, right behind Chad Ochocinco. So next up, we have the 98 overall all-team chem Davante Adams. And this right here is probably the best bang for your buck purchase on today's tier list. I mean, a receiver like Davante Adams with all-team chems is absolutely ridiculous. So here's Davante Adams, route runner archetype. The card is 6'1", 215. You guys see the stats. So if you have full receiver strat cards and at least a 25 theme team, which a lot of us do have, you can easily get Davante Adams to 99 speed. This card can also be powered up as well. And then all you would need is either 125 or one strat card, any combination of that. But Davante getting all team chems with these stats, his build, the archetype, I think without question, Davante Adams is a top 5 receiver in the game right now. The way he runs routes, especially on next gen, so crispy, gets crazy separation, insane animations, a bunch of those nasty red zone animations. Davante does get those. So I think without question, yes, Davante Adams is going right into S tier, right up with Cooper Kupp. I would probably say Cooper Kupp over Davante Adams. I probably would say that, especially if you are willing to power up Cooper Kupp and, have full receiver strat cards. I would definitely say that because Cooper Kupp is kind of like a golden ticket where he can get really any archetype bucket or any ability bucket that he wants. But Davante, definitely a W because he gets every single team chem in the game. So next up, we have the 96 overall Charles Woodson that hatched out of the Michigan egg. And this card's pretty nice. He does come with, I believe it is 2 AP wide receiver playmaker, which if you use playmaker is actually a major W, but he's kind of like a Justin Jefferson. 6'1", 96 speed, decent acceleration, 3 thresholds. After the catch, the card's pretty solid with the 98 spin and the 93 juke. Also, 85 impact blocks, pretty interesting as well. And can he play man coverage? He can play some man coverage, not that it matters at all. But does have some nice little coverage stats right there. Slot archetype, like I said, 2 AP playmaker. I'm going to throw Charles Woodson. I feel like there's like a little bit of a spot in here in here where they're all just a bunch of 6'1 dudes with 96 speed. So I'm going to throw Charles Woodson right into like this conversation with, you know, Chris Godwin. You really can't pick one of these guys over the other. You know what I mean? But these 4 guys right here, all 96 speed and all 6'1, which I do like a lot. So I'm going to throw Charles Woodson into this conversation. Okay, so while we are looking up our next receiver, this would be a great time to head down below and hit that like button. And if you are new here, hit that subscribe button, turn those notifications. We do post daily Madden 22 content. We do tier list gameplays, budget, no money spent videos, all that stuff in one spot. So why are you not subscribed already? So just like we did in yesterday's video, we're just going to bang out all of the team champion cards. There are actually a ton of different team champion receivers. There's, I think, 4 or 5 of them. There are 5 of them. 5 team champion receivers, right? No, 6. There's 6. My bad. There are 6 of them. So let's just get started with our man, Mike Evans, and then we'll figure it out from there. So Mike Evans, physical archetype, 6'5", 95 speed, good jumping, 3 thresholds. At this point, that's kind of a standard. 81 strength, 81 trucking with an 89 juke, 85 spin, 95 carrying with an 87 break tackle. I do feel like the after the catch does kind of keep Mike Evans out of that, you know, top 5 to like 6 conversation. But I still think Mike Evans is definitely an S tier receiver. Just being 6'5 with 95 speed, physical archetype, I think he has to be in that conversation for sure. If you do disagree, let me know why down below. But yeah, I'm going to be throwing Mike Evans up here at S tier. I think even outside of just a Buccaneers team, you could definitely use this card at a high level. The only problem with him really is the price tag, but again, I don't factor in the price tag when it comes to ranking these cards. But yeah, honestly, this card's probably not worth it because he's going for about 500k. I don't think any of these team champion cards are really worth it in my opinion, but that's just me. All right, so next up, we're going to go with Tim Patrick, another one of these team champion cards that I think are S tier, mainly because of the height, and also he is faster than Mike Evans. Does hit 3 thresholds, 90, 92, 97. He's a deep threat archetype, so does get that 1 AP deep out. COD is decent after the catch. He's really not that great, but the reason why you want Tim Patrick on your team is because he is 6'4 with that 96 speed, which is just an absolute lethal combination. So Tim Patrick, I think, again, without question, is an S tier receiver. Does he fall before or after Mike Evans? I feel like I'd kind of value them the same. I do think it is pretty close between these two because Mike Evans has an inch, but then Tim Patrick has the 1 speed. So it kind of comes down to what you prefer, but Mike Evans has the slightly better route running. Tim Patrick might be the better archetype depending on your play style. So I'd probably say Mike Evans and Tim Patrick are fairly interchangeable. So next up, we have DeAndre Hopkins. This card is really nice. 6'1", 212, 95 speed, and also just has ridiculous, you know, catching traffic, route running stats, spec catch. If we head down here, 90 carrying with the 93 juke move and the 92 break tackle, as well as the 89 COD, which powered up. 90 COD is pretty solid. So DeAndre Hopkins, his cards always play super well, and I think for that reason, he's not S tier. I don't even think he's high A tier in my opinion, but I'm definitely comfortable with putting him low A tier down here with Julio Jones. I feel like that kind of makes sense, but again, probably not worth it for 500k. So next man up is Elijah Moore, slot archetype with 96 speed, 98 acceleration, good route running across the board. The catching traffic's there, the catching's there, the spec catch is there. If we head down here, he has the 98 carrying, the 92 juke move, not a hybrid tackle, but definitely a solid card. Had some good catching stats. I think in the slot is where this card's going to eat. Don't put him on the outsides. But Elijah Moore does play pretty solid, but again, the height hole is a big problem with a lot of these receivers for sure, especially on next gen. So I'm going to throw Elijah Moore in this like Jalen Waddle, Galloway conversation. I feel like his best comparison is Kadarius Toney because they are very similar. Toney does have an inch on Elijah Moore, but yeah, they're very, very, very similar cards. And for our final team champion, we are looking at Terry McLaurin. So when I first saw Terry McLaurin, I thought for sure he was going to be the best team champion receiver that came out because Terry cards are always just amazing. But I do think, you know, Tim Patrick and Mike Evans are better than him. I think, you know, the 5 inches on Mike Evans and the 4 inches on Tim Patrick do go a very long way, despite Terry having DeAndre Hopkins like, you know, catching and route running stats. 98 catching, powered up 99 is ridiculous. A good spec catch. 97 short, 97 mid, 94 deep, 6 foot 210, which is still really, really good. I am gonna put Terry McLaurin over, you know, Justin Jefferson, Chad Johnson, Charles Woodson for sure. Mainly because even after the catch, this card's really nice. 95 COD, 98 juke move, 95 spin. He's a 92 carrying with a 94 break tackle. So even though Terry McLaurin is an inch shorter than those 6'1 guys that I was just talking about, I still think Terry is better than them. So I'm going to put him up here. I'd probably still say Jamar over Terry McLaurin, but honestly, between these two cards, it is very close. Even though Jamar has one more speed, I feel like these are, again, fairly interchangeable right here at the top of A tier. So next up, we have the Madden Machines wide receiver number 10. And he's pretty good. This card does remind me a lot of a Billy Johnson. He's basically just the deep threat version of Billy Johnson. So I do like Billy Johnson more than wide receiver 10, mainly because Billy is a better archetype, but I'm going to put these two guys right next to each other. They're both 5'9", both have 98 speed. So, you know, powered up, not on a theme team. You don't need any strat cards. You don't need anything. You just have a 99 speed receiver, good acceleration, good route running, obviously. Then after the catch, it is wide receiver 10. And you know, wide receiver 10 is usually pretty nasty after the catch. So 95 break tackle, 99 juke, 93 spin, 93 carrying. And honestly, I don't think I'm going to put wide receiver 10 behind Billy Johnson. I don't think I'm going to do it. I feel like wide receiver 10 just plays too well after the catch. I think he's way better after the catch than Billy. But I guess they could be interchangeable. But either way, they're going to be right next to each other. Whether, you know, wide receiver 10's in front of Billy or if Billy's in front of wide receiver 10. I think it can go either way, honestly. I really just recorded this whole DK Metcalf clip, and then I realized that I simply wasn't recording, so we're going to go ahead and run it back. But DK Metcalf cards, always amazing. 6'3", 229 pounds. The speed's there, the route running's there, the acceleration's also always there. We head down here, he has the strength, he has the impact block, has the run block. After the catch, 97 break tackle, 92 juke with the 90 carrying, as well as the 96 truck and the 93 stiff arm. So this is one of the better DK cards that we've seen, mainly just because of the route running. Usually they do cheat DK's route running, but even up for a 96 overall DK, hitting these three thresholds, having his build, having the size, having the after the catch, the speed and acceleration, like I said, are going to be there too. This DK card, without question, is S tier. And by the way, we have finished A tier, we finished B tier, we finished C tier, we finished D tier. So all we have left now is to finish off S tier. And I think, yeah, without question, DK is S tier. I'm going to throw him right in front of Mike Evans and Tim Patrick, but I'm going to leave him behind Colin Johnson. The reason why I still like Colin Johnson so much is because he's 6'6", and he does have the golden ticket-like ability bucket. So if you have Colin Johnson, big W, because I still think he's S tier. Unfortunately, if you don't have Colin Johnson, you can't go out there and get him. But if you still have him from the MCS stuff, I think his card is definitely still top tier. He's really, really nice. But I'm going to throw DK at S tier for sure. So next up, we have Mike Irvin, and this card is definitely a W. I wasn't the biggest fan of his Zero Chill card, and that's saying a lot from a guy like me who just loves Mike Irvin cards in MUT. But I was not a fan of his Zero Chill card. This card has made up for it. 96 speed, 98 jumping, physical archetype, good route running across the board, 6'2", I think I already said that. 207 if we head down here. The only hole on this card is the carrying. Outside of that, he plays amazing. The spin's there, the juke's there, the break tackle's there. Everything's kind of there for Mike Irvin, and this card does play super well. So I think without question, Mike Irvin did make up for his, I guess, kind of, you know, lackluster, you know, subpar Zero Chill card with this Sugar Rush card. So I'm going to throw our man Mike up here at S tier. We're going to throw him right in front of Chase Claypool and right behind Davante Adams. And next man up is the Ultimate Legend 98 overall. Where is he? Where is he? The Ultimate Legend 98 overall, Randy Moss. And I mean, for obvious reasons, this card is a beast. One of the better Randys that we've seen. I mean, Madden 20 Randy's tough to beat because of Moss 100. But you guys see the stats right here. 97 speed, 97 jumping, 97 catching, 97 catching traffic. Base 99 spec catch. The route running's there. 6'4", 210, and even after the catch, they made this card pretty nice. 85 carrying is, I would say, his only hole. But yeah, the spin's there, the juke's there, being 6'4", also has the good spin animation. But the 92 break tackle. Randy Moss, it's just an all-around menace. This card just plays absolutely ridiculous. So without question, Randy Moss is going to be going right to the top of S tier in front of Cooper Kupp. And finally, last but not least, we all know who the final guy is going to be, and the man who I think is the best receiver in the game right now, and that is Calvin Johnson. So the reason why I think Calvin Johnson is a better option or better than Randy Moss is because Calvin can do everything that Randy Moss can do. He has an inch on Randy Moss, but like I said, he can do every single thing that Randy Moss can do, but can run block as well. So can run the routes. He's better after the catch than Randy. Can run block, can do everything on a football field that you'd want your receiver to do. So I think Calvin Johnson is number one right now currently in the game. The 6'5", the route running, the ability to literally just do everything. This card doesn't have a hole. He has no holes whatsoever. So yeah, Calvin Johnson to me is wide receiver number one. So our top 5 receivers on today's tier list, we got Calvin at 1, Randy at 2, Cooper Kupp at 3, Davante Adams at 4, and Mike Irvin rounding out the top 5. But yeah, if you did enjoy today's video, make sure you head down there and hit that like button, because most likely if you enjoyed today's video, that means someone else will as well. And if you are new here, hit that subscribe button, turn those notifications. And yeah, as always, feel free to drop a comment down below if you have any disagreements or agreements with today's tier list. And yeah, as always, I will see you boys in the next one.